Hey, it's Lady O. The season of mirror work begins. Welcome to Conversations with Lady O. I am your host, Lady O. I'm going to jump right into this. Now, I am showing you, actually, are you seeing what I'm looking at? I don't think you are. Let's just go over there. There we go. So, MP Jamel Giovanni has a petition, and the petition is to end the temporary foreign worker program, also known as the TFWP. This is on his X page. If you're on X, it is on his page. It's the second. He has something pinned at the top, and right after, below that, is this. Now, it says that the petition, the deadline is the June 5th, which is 3 days from now. I'm now recording. It is the 2nd of June. It's 2:36 p.m. Eastern Time at the time of this recording. So we have 3 days left for us to sign this petition. Now, when I clicked on the link on his X page, it takes to his campaign page. It does not have the petition. So to get access to the petition, if you're on his X page, obviously you click on the post and it'll take you to the petition. If not, let me just show you so this is what it looks like. This is the website for it. It's jamelgiovanni.ca/end TFWP. And it's to end the temporary foreign worker program. If you're having any difficulties, for those who are not visual, but you're listening to this on the program, on the podcast platforms, Jamel is spelled Jamil, and then Giovanni is JIVANI.ca. So it's JAMILJIVANI.ca/ENDTFWP. Another easy way for you to get it is on my website. So if you go on my podcast, in my bio, it'll take you to my link tree. On the link tree, I believe it is the first one at the top. You'll see it says "End Temporary Foreign Worker Program." Let's see if there. You'll see my link tree. So it is the second one from the top. So the first one is a petition for replacing Doug Ford as a leader, and then the second one is to end the temporary foreign worker program. So it's on my link tree. If you, again, easy access for you to go there. And again, my link tree is in, when you click on the link in my bio, it takes you directly to my website that has all of my links. So this is what this podcast is about. It's about ending the temporary foreign worker program. Now, I'm hearing a lot of pushback in regards to this petition. Let me just shrink it in so you can see everything there. Okay, to end the temporary foreign worker program. So I'm seeing a lot of people trying to now make this something racist or something racial. It's common sense. Okay, it's common sense. The temporary foreign worker program initially started off with a common sense reason to it. It was for you to fill the gap, or employers give employers the opportunity to fill the gap of employment, a job posting that they cannot fill within Canada. So part of the temporary foreign worker program is that they have to do an LMIA, a labor market impact assessment. Now, I went through that because I did it as well for for the nanny, the living caregiver stream. There's different streams, and that is a process I regret doing. Like that and many others, we bring people into this country who say they're qualified. We've done everything due diligent, and when they come here, they show us that they're not qualified, and they reveal to us that they came here under another agenda. They did not come to actually fulfill the contract and to work in the role that they that they came to Canada in. And I'm the one that had to sponsor her, because you are the employer, you sponsor the person, you're the one that's bringing them here, right? So they're not coming to fulfill the contract agreement and to work within the confines of what the job posting is. They come in under that. You do the interview, you do all your due diligence, you follow the procedure where you post the job here first. That's part of the process. You have to put it in the job bank. You have to show that you've been waiting and nobody's applying. So I use an immigration officer for the immigration lawyer for this, because again, I was new to it and I didn't know all of the ins and outs. And he explained he had to post it in the job bank. He has to, see if anybody within Canada wanted it first. And then if not, then, that's when you give the permission to now find somebody outside. Now, you have to trust the immigration officer, make sure, hopefully they are doing things legitly. And who knows? But what I do know is the person I brought here was not qualified after they arrived. They actually put my child's life in danger. My child had to be rushed to to get medical attention, and I did not even notice. It was hidden from me. The things the things that these people go through to hide what's happening, and I only found out about it because of a gut instinct. Because even my family member, who apparently adored her, didn't care that she almost kill my child. There's a nut allergy, very well aware, and she gave my son nuts. Now the family member says they want to take responsibility too, because she asked them and they said it's okay. But I'm like, I'm sorry. First of all, if you're hired for a job, when I'm going to an interview and I'm being hired for a job, and I know what the job description is, I know all the ins and outs, why am I still asking another person, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? That's your job. You should know that. And then you, the family member, when they ask you, should I give the child nuts? And we have a huge nut allergy, big no-no. How are you saying yes? So you are also a family member that I have to watch out for, because you forgot that the child oh my God. Anyhow, I don't want to go back down that rabbit hole, but it was very apparent, apparent after the fact. And on top of that, all of the efforts that were taken to hide this from me. Nobody called me to let me know that my child was being rushed to the hospital for an anaphylactic response, throwing up, vomiting up, swollen, like hives, like rushed. And I'm at work. Nobody told me all this was happening at home. I found out that there are some other wives and mothers who are going through this as well, where they are hiring people to come in. The person is aware that there's a nut allergy or some type of medical condition, but then they are intentionally giving the children the things that which the child is allergic to, because they want to be fired. And once they're fired, then they can complain and say, oh, can I have an open work permit? Because it's hard to find somebody here in Canada now to take over the live-in caregiver closed work permit. And then if they don't get the way, then they go and they complain against the employer and say that the employer is abusing them. I know from my nanny, when I found out about it and I fired her after I found out that my child almost died, and that's another podcast. I shared briefly on it already. I called the immigration lawyer, told her she needs to get out my house. I called the Canadian government saying, okay, I need to send her back. And they said, oh, you can't send her back. Now she's here. It's up to somebody else to take it over. And if she doesn't find anybody, then it's still her decision to leave. I was like, what? So I have firsthand experience about the broken system for the temporary foreign worker program. I strongly believe, and I said it then, and I'll continue to say it, that the employer, if after you bring someone into this country and they have demonstrated that they've lied about their abilities, or they've demonstrated that they do not possess the abilities that they say they do, even if you've done all the background checks, the interviews, and all that stuff, you should be able to send them back. The Canadian government's supposed to have a dedicated fleet division that goes around and picks up these people, has them go back to their place, get their passport, pick up their stuff. You have 3 hours to pack your stuff. We're waiting right outside. They get in and they're transported back to Lester Pearson, and then they're put on the next flight back home. And then they're banned for life for coming back into Canada under that stream, because you've already come to Canada. You've demonstrated that you do not have the qualities, and it has nothing to do with the employer being abusive. You've documented proof and evidence that you do not possess the abilities. You go back home. For the temporary foreign caregiver program that they're coming on, because the different streams, there's the agriculture stream, there's the living stream, there's all these different streams that they're supposed to be qualified for. I strongly believe that when they lodge a complaint against the employer, that they should be charged for lodging false complaints, because now they're trying to make it look that the employer is doing. I know employee is doing something wrong. I know for this situation, this young lady had the audacity to go and lodge a complaint. She couldn't call about abuse. She lodged a complaint about how I didn't pay her. I had to show all the receipts, all of the pay stubs, everything. And then she's saying I underpaid. She found an accountant to send a letter to Revenue Canada telling them to audit me, all this stuff. Long story short, after we've gone through all that, they found out that I actually overpaid her. Funny thing, right? So these trifling immigrants, they come in here with an ulterior motive. They do not come in here to do the job that they came for. And when they now have to leave, they find a way to lodge false complaints against the employer to try to find some sympathy for them to stay. So this is why I believe the temporary foreign worker program needs to end. Now, that young lady was able to stay because the government did not have my back. The government did not have my children's back. The government had the rights of the foreigner ahead of the rights of the Canadian that brought them in, and they came in under false pretense. They were not qualified. And you allowed them to stay. And then I don't know if another family picked up her stuff, and I don't know if they kicked her out or not, or if she was able to finagle her way to get another means. I don't know what she did, but I know that I was the one that opened the door for her to come to Canada, and whatever she did after the fact is why she's now here. And she's here destroying lives and family lives. Now, it could be legal because the government has provided these legal loopholes. It may be lawful because we did not have laws like law enforcement and children's aid that can arrest them, lock them up, charge them so that they do have a criminal record in Canada for certain programs. Certain streams, when you violate them, like when it comes to the lives and especially the living caregiver, if you're taking care of children or seniors and there's any kind of abuse, any kind of negligence, and it's documented that you should have known better, you should be charged. Have a criminal record now, and then deported back. And you're banned for life from coming into Canada under that stream that you're deported from. So the temporary foreign worker program was designed to fill a gap legitimately after the employer has done due diligence in diligently posting and could not find someone here to take that. Now, if you hire an immigration lawyer, as I did, and you find, like after the fact, the job market or find that the person did not do, then that immigration lawyer should have his license revoked. Canada needs to put some teeth into this program to protect us Canadians. It's not supposed to be bringing in people to take jobs that could have been filled here, or it should not be given to people who are coming under false pretense and endangering the lives of Canadians while they're here. Now I'm going to pivot to the student visa program briefly. The student visa program should not be given the social insurance number. They should not be able to work in any type of hospitality service or any type of fast food service. That should be designated for our high school students, post-secondary students who are legitimately here as Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Student visa holders should not be working at Tim Hortons, Subway, Wendy's, drive-thrus, dishwashing. No, that's jobs that our local citizens, permanent residents can occupy. There's many students who are looking for summer jobs, seasonal jobs, landscaping. They should not, student visa holders should not be occupying those jobs. So the work permit should not be open and it should not be given for those type of job. A student visa, if you are going to get employment while you're here studying or during when school ends, should be a closed work permit specific to the line of education that you are here studying in. That's what you should be employed in, so you can get more hands-on experience. So again, you're competing with other Canadians and others who are applying for that job as well. So yes, people are going to say, Lady, that's going to be as unfair. No, it's not unfair. Because student visa, what is the benefit of a student visa and a temporary work permit program? The LMIA, these people are benefiting our economy by coming in and working, filling in a position, because they have to pay taxes, they're paying EI, all of the working tax, and when I say the working tax, EI, CPP, all of those taxes are taken off from earnings, right? So it's going back into the economy. They're spending money. They're buying things. They're buying clothes. They're buying food. Depending on the contract, maybe all that housing and all that is being taken care of by the employer. So the employer is still paying money for them. So the temporary foreign worker program, I could see how it's benefiting the economy. The student visa, I don't see how that's benefiting the economy. Now, don't tell me, well, while they're here, lady, they spend money for this. I'm talking about, let's weigh this on a scale. How much does the Canadian economy benefit from students who are spending money, their money, not getting grants, again, not getting taxpayers' money through some type of benefits and then putting it back into the economy, because sometimes it doesn't come back into the economy, they send it back home. However, I digress. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about their money. If they're working, how much of that is coming back into our economy? And now, I'm not talking about our economy in regards to their family business or their people's business. Coming back to now where certain ethnic demographics is only hiring their own students, visas, they're being employed by their people. I'm seeing on TikTok and I'm seeing lots of live videos of Canadians who are videotaping being denied or not being able to get a job because they're being asked, do you speak Punjabi? Since when is Punjabi one of our official languages in Canada? The last time I checked was English and French. Since when is do you speak Punjabi a hiring criteria in Canada? Because that is not one of our official languages. Because when you're serving Canadians who are speaking English or French. You should not be speaking your language in the drive-thru or on the job. Again, that's another workplace situation that we need to clamp down on. I'm not an elected official, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot of common sense solutions to many things that we can really zero in on and knuckle down on and just stop the nonsense. You should be only speaking either two languages in any workplace, English or French, period. I should not be hearing any other language, and it's okay because you're speaking amongst yourselves. I don't know what you're saying, who you're speaking about. Are you speaking about me? Are you speaking another colleague? Are you speaking about a leadership? Are you speaking about us? Who are you speaking about? What are you talking about? Are you talking about pornography? Are you talking about something sexual? Are you talking your personal business? Family business? Are you having conversations that if you did it in English or French, somebody would say that is not appropriate for the workplace? But we can't say that because we don't know what you're saying. It needs to stop. Period. You want to speak your language when you're off of the company's property and you're at the bus stop and you're fine. You want to talk your language. You're on the TTC bus. You want to talk your language. You're on your go bus. You want to talk your language. You want to, you're at your family functions. You're at your place of worship and you guys want to knock yourselves out. But as soon as you are in a place of employment or you're in any of our school systems, any place like your home, as I said, your religious, place of worship, you're on a TTC bus, fine. But a place of employment, as long as you put your foot on the property of a place of employment, you're supposed to, it should be mandated you speak English or French fluently. Visual. You can read it, write it, speak it fluently. Period. All our schools, private or public. Period. Places of business, private or public, period. This should be talk about Canadian culture, whoever the minister is that the Liberals put up there for Canadian culture and identity and who we are as Canadians. As I said, I'm not an elected official, but I have a lot of common sense solutions for all these different areas and places and portfolio and programs. We need to stop it. At the end of the day, anybody coming to Canada is supposed to be benefiting Canada. We're not supposed to be benefiting another country when you come here. Because no other country is benefiting us. We have to benefit ourselves. Because many of them, they take their money and they send it back home. We can't now dictate how they spend their money when they get it, if they're sending it back home. So this is why we ought to make sure when they come here, because we can't dictate, we got to make sure when they come here in a way that whatever they do with their money, we benefit. We benefit. So yes, when they send their money back home, the banks benefit because of fees or, these third-party apps, when they send their money. Okay, great. But is it coming back to the Canadian economy? Student visas. Certain employments should not be opened to them, period. So it's either you have the money to come and go back home when school shut down. Lady, that's not fair. Well, that's not my problem. Then what the Canadian government should be doing, we should be putting pressure on their country to build up their institutions and their educational system where they can stay there and study. You come over here saying that over here in North America, our school systems are better, but for some reason our government says that they still need to bring in foreigners because they're educated better than our own who's here. But then they're coming over here to be educated in our schools. Make it make sense. It's either our education, our schools are better, so that's why you're coming here. So if that's the case, I'm not supposed to hear Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, talk about he has to bring in foreigners. And I'm not supposed to be seeing foreigners being hired over those who are being educated in Ontario schools from elementary, high school to post-secondary. How are you not as qualified as somebody coming in with their credentials? Make it make sense. It does not make sense. So it's either our schools are top-notch. That would mean that our own are supposed to be able to be hired before anybody who's coming in to study in our country. That's number one. Number two, we should be putting pressure on their governments to raise up and build their schools so you can stay there, work, get educated, and work there. You don't have to leave your country to come and get a better education because your education's great, isn't it? Isn't that what our government is saying? Make it make sense. So if you're coming here because our school system's better, then that tells me that our own who are being educated here should already be at an advantage for getting employment because they lived and were educated already here. So don't tell me I'm seeing foreign students that are taking up jobs that our high school students and post-secondary students who are Canadian permanent residents can't get. It doesn't make sense. What are you here for? Engineering. Why are you at Tim Hortons? Why are you a dishwasher? Why are you taking up our children's summer job? You're an engineer, get a summer job, part-time job in engineering. Period. Put a stop to it. And then if it's either you can afford to go back after school is done, or your family can send money to help you, pay bills during summertime if you can't get employment. But our student visa work permits should not be allowing student visas for any job that's outside of what they're studying. Period. End it. The jobs need to stay open for our youths who are wanting to get into the job force. Summer jobs, part-time jobs, after-school jobs, because many of them are trying to help their household expenses because of the inflation by the Liberal government. And they're trying to help mom and dad make ends meet as well. They're trying to, get their own job to pay things for themselves because things are hard for Canadians, for permanent residents, for us. So if you're coming here to study, you're not supposed to be taking our children's job, period. Point blank. Get a job in what you are here studying for. And then that, we can have some other criterias there. Because at the end of the day, immigration is not supposed to be a liability to the citizens, permanent residents of a country. It's not supposed to be a liability. Any immigration policy is supposed to be an asset. Period. As soon as we find people who are using it and it's becoming now maliciously used and it's a liability, it ends. We send a very strong message. Don't abuse our kindness. Strong message. And I'm yelling because I am pissed off. Many of you want to use that against Polivier. That's your problem. I don't give 2 cents. We send a very strong message. As soon as you abuse a program, it ends. And you ruin it for everybody. And we let them know why we end it. So now the whole world and everybody could realize who screwed it up for everybody. Period. And those who come in on any stream of the labor market impact assessment, and you've been determined by your employer that you've lied, you misrepresented yourself, you are not fulfilling the contractual agreement because you did something on the job that's a liability, you put people's harm at risk, you show that you're inept, you go back home and you're banned from applying again in that stream. Lifetime ban. If you want to put some grace on it, you're banned for the next 10 to 15 years. Not even 5. Nope. You don't come back another 5 years. I would say minimum 10 years before you can reapply again in that same stream. Because we need to teach you a lesson. Do not come to Canada and mess up and put anybody's life at risk. And for certain streams, you should be charged criminally. Get a criminal record, it stays on your file here in Canada, and you're still deported. So when you come back, when you do a background check on everything, it shows. So if we want to say a 10-year grace period, lesson learned, and you're coming back again, hopefully you learn your lesson. Don't play around. when you come here in Canada. We're loving, we're gracious, we're kind, all that maple syrup. Yes, yes, yes. Polite, polite. Smile. Dimples. Yeah, 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 yeah. And we're serious. Don't mess around with our lives, our economy. Do not come into our country and be a liability. You're supposed to be adding value, not being a problem. Period. We have our own ingrown problems that we have our justice system have to take care of. We don't need to be importing a problem. No. When you're coming in, you come to add value. Period. Keep your nose clean, keep your hands clean. Your conduct is pristine. Period. You're not a person that we need to be worrying about. Period. We have our own within that we need to be handling because of all these liberal ideologies. So the temporary foreign worker program and the student visa program, there's many ways for us to really nip this in the bud. So yes, that would mean that, not a lot of people are coming in. Oh, well, too bad for you, these universities who are abusing the student visa program, because it's all about money in their pocket, and they don't care the caliber of people that's coming into our country, that's also living in and amongst their family. If you haven't figured out, you see that horrific incident happened in Pickering. The people that leave Toronto, leave Scarborough, leave the inner city and think you're going to run away and live somewhere that you're going to call safe so you don't have to worry about the crime that's in the inner city. You see what happens? You forget that crime knows how to move into your community, right? Nobody's safe. So for every Canadian, every permanent resident that believe that you could move away from crime and leave the mess for us to take care of because we don't have the means to move out of the inner city, and you didn't care about the quality of life that your neighbors are living in because you're far removed from it. Life has a way of visiting you for you to remember you're not in this world by yourself and for yourself. You ought to care about the quality of everybody's neighborhoods, not just your nice, manicured, gated community or your quiet, safe space that you price out the criminals and think, oh, we're going to put at a price that only certain people can afford to come here. Well, guess what? When those certain people are coming in and their currency, when they do the Canadian exchange rate, when they have banks and they have all these programs and all these intricacies and nuances that makes them eligible to move into your community, remember that you didn't care about the quality of life for your Canadian citizens and your permanent residents. So you imported behaviors and beliefs because of a price, because they could afford to, because of a price tag. You put a price on your principles. So whoever could pay that price, they're right next door to you. And they do not share your value system. They do not share your parental beliefs, your moral compass. They have their children behave and do whatever. That's what you priced. So, this is a common sense solution. We need to stop the temporary foreign worker program, and I'm waiting to see an elected official also hammer down on the student visa program and put some very strong barriers where students that are coming in are not taking jobs that is not in their educational sector. There's many ways for you to ensure is that every employer, every job is sent to high school guidance counselors for summer job. you're looking for some employment, every guidance counseling office in every school board should be getting flyers or emails from the human resources of every company that has seasonal jobs. Dishwashing, fast food, servers, even chefs. My gosh, we have a lot of local culinary colleges where students can work part-time, summertime. Come on now. Our local students. You don't need to come to Canada to learn culinary school. You're going to tell me your country can't develop one to teach you how to make your ethnic foods? Because now, if we look at this bigger and broader, if we have schools and systems in our respective countries, and it is great for us to raise our children, and we travel, we visit each other to experience the culinary mystique and the culinary specialties of areas, and then we go back home. We travel. This again, you want to know how we benefit each other? I travel to your country to experience your culture, your landscape, your food, the ambiance, all of the wonders of your countries and your museums, your parks, your rainforests, or your natural, botanical gardens, and the thing, just your country. All of the things that your tourism department could just make beautiful and attractive, and for us to discover another country. That's how we expand and we explore. And then we go back home, because home is amazing. Nobody's running from their place where they've lived and they have memories. So we can experience. And if you want to come over and you want to immigrate over, you're not rushing any process. Nothing is granted to you because of, you follow we immigrate 1%, 2% minimum every year. So yeah, we can still have all of your delicacies and everything in our native country, so we don't have to travel. For those people that can't afford to travel, we can still experience the foods and stuff, but it's like 1% a year that we bring in for those reasons, because we don't need to bring in for any other reason, because we are educating and we're bringing up our own. And the same thing, so we explore by traveling. Now, the travel agency and the industry department, that could also be attractive, where you have rates that would make it attractive for people to travel. Packages. Like, we can really be a world where we respect each other culture, we visit, we take what we like, we take what we don't go where we don't like, depending on if value system doesn't align, and nobody's forcing. Period. We're done. However, when immigration is based on wars, it is an indictment when your economy thrives on your military budget. It's an indictment when your economy blossoms from buying and purchasing weapons. Yes, we need military. Yes, we need to keep, because, evil is in every skin color. Evil is an energy that will morph itself and hides in every community, and expects you to not see it. It wants you to see the them. That's where evil continually busts our butts and win. Because evil always wants you to see, it's those people, instead of seeing it. It's an energy. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it jumps into the skins of people. And it goes into the minds of people, and the people of all walks of life. Evil lives in and it thrives and it is passed on because you believe the lie from evil that evil is a skin color, a people. Evil is an energy, it's a spirit that thrives and lurks in your ignorance. I'm going to say that again. Evil is an energy and a spirit that thrives and lurks in your ignorance. There is no people group that does not have a representation of an evil, disgusting person. Find me a people group where you cannot find a mass murderer, you cannot find a pedophile, you cannot find a human trafficker, you cannot find an immoral spiritual leader, you cannot find a person that violates women and children. You can't tell me there's one people group that don't have one of those, that looks just like you in every way, shape, or form, was raised in your religion in every way, shape, or form, and they came out and you're what? Just, yeah, doing some vile, disgusting things. So please, give me a break. But see, evil keeps winning because it has a way of finding people who embarrasses a community, and then you have another community that evil has been successful in winning in your prejudice, that you're quick to want to point at those people. See, they are the scum of the earth. See those, and it's like, I'm sorry, I could find some scum right in your community. Oh, I can Google search and send you pictures of your people who are the scum of the earth, who has done some mayhemic things, some immoral, disgusting, genocidal things, that has done some family disgusting, immoral acts within things. So please. But see, evil does not want you to look in the mirror and check yourself. It's quick to make you look outside and call people names. Don't act like you don't act. Oh, trust me. If we go back in your family tree, we can find somebody that you would be ashamed to be like, yeah. It's in your community. It's there too. Every vile and disgusting act that you want to point to, we got somebody in your community who's defecating in public. We got somebody in your community who's walking around with their pants down and they're just have all their public parts exposed. Oh yeah, we could find members of your community who are just yeah, man. But you see, when that happens, we find incidences of justification. Oh, it's mental health, it's drug addiction, it's people. There's always some allowance to explain that. But when it comes to another people group, oh, it's just them. Evil loves when we do that to each other. The temporary foreign worker program is not anti-immigration, meaning we're anti other people. I think there's a special word that they created, xenophobia. No. It's putting a pause on a program that no longer serves the intended initial purpose of the program. It has been weaponized against the people. That's what we are ending. And it can all go back to the progressive movement within all political parties that has been co-opted, pushing narrative and ideologies, including Chrystia Freeland when she did that public speech 10 years ago, telling you that they are hollowing out the middle class within the Americas, not just Canada and United States, the Americas. This was their agenda, was to hollow out the middle class of the Americas. You don't believe me? I'll put the link to the episode where she did her speech 10 years ago. Is it a coincidence that Canada has been on a decline over the past 10 years? No, you listen to their ministers. They told you what they were doing, but you just turned a blind eye because you're so in love with Chrystia Freeland and the liberal brand. You didn't see that it was actually positioning itself to betray and destroy you. And then they convinced you that it's a good thing for them to destroy you. They made you feel so sorry for other people that you say it's okay to destroy my country because poor those other people. Instead of you saying to your elected officials, excuse me, please, you're destroying who? That's us. That's our people. That's our middle class. You mean you're taking one American middle class? I'm sorry. That one could be mine. That could be my children. That could be my grandchildren. I'm not okay in one of us being destroyed to bring up another country's middle class. I'm sorry. That is the responsibility of that country to build up their middle class. We're not helping them by destroying our own. What, Chrystia? What did you just say? That same Chrystia is on Mark Carney's cabinet because they are all the same. So yes, I am a classical liberal who left the Liberal Party many years ago when it was very obvious that progressivism came into the party, and it's no longer a classical liberal party. It's a progressive liberal party, no different than the progressive conservative of the Doug Ford party. They're not conservatives, but again, they keep you blinded from the truth of who they are. And they make you loyal to a brand, and they convince you that it is good to be loyal to the brand and to abandon your loyalty for your principles and the loyalty for the country. And then they actually convince you that voting for them is voting for country. I'm telling you, the psychology that they've done on Canada is textbook. It is so textbook. It is to be admired how dark psychology has been infiltrated into the Canadian political system, the education institutions, the medical system. Dark psychology is an art of war that they have waged successfully over the past, I would say 25 years. I would even say 30 years. However, it intensified in the last 5. Dark psychology. They've using psychology just like anything. This is what the progressive does, and I'm going to end it right here. Anything good, evil gets in and it destroys by contaminating that good thing. Progressivism, to be progressive, has been disguised as if it is in the best interest of society, of culture, of civilization to progress. But when you really look at this progression, it's actually regression. It's actually destroys. It's degenerate. It is everything but positive. It's positively negative. It's positively dark. It's positively corrupt. Oh, for sure. It's all of those and more. But it's not positively productive in a way that elevates truth elevates morals, elevates a higher sense of awakening that we all are truly equal in the way that we can love, respect, and care for each other as if we are our brother's keeper. It's not progressive where you can actually form a deeper level of empathy, meaning to feel another person's plight, for you to be empathetic, to put yourself in someone's shoes and say, how would I feel if that was me? It's not progressive towards that. It's progressive towards hate. And when you call it out, they call you hate speech. No, when you're actually a deeper critical thinker speech. You're deeper critical thinking speaker. So your speech challenges and it pricks and it makes people uncomfortable. So they call it hate speech when you're bringing common sense to a conversation. Common sense that requires you to just stop, pause, and just look in the mirror and say, hold on a minute. Would I like that if that was? No, I wouldn't. You know, the golden rule that people want to take out and make it a religious thing when it's really a relationship thing that has been given from the beginning of time, from the creator of all time, to treat people the way you would like to be treated. Treat the neighbor the way you would like to be treated. Love your neighbor the way you would love yourself and you would love somebody else to love you. Watch out for somebody else's child, irregardless of their color. And be like, if that was my child, I would want someone to stand up and protect my child and speak for my child and tell that person, I'm sorry, what did you just say? What did you just do? What are you doing? Because I'm not there for my child, I would wish someone would look out for my child too. So I am here and I'm in the presence being that for this child. You know that thing? Yeah, that thing. So the decaying of society is as soon as progressivism was injected. Dark psychology used progressivism to destroy societies because societies are formed from families. You destroy a family, you get into the parenting. Dark psychologists start telling you how to parent and what you're supposed to let go and be your child's best friend and let them make their choice, and they're just individuals and you don't own them and they're free spirit. You see, dark psychology got into telling you what it had no business telling you, and you cut, chew, and swallowed. And when many of us were telling you it's gone too far, dark psychology was so present in your being. It spread out to all of your vessels, your blood system, your bloodstream, got in all your tissues, and it finally got into your brain and start telling you, oh, they're being judgmental, they're being hypocritical, they're not showing tolerance. Oh, those people, yeah. And then the worst of it is when your own community attacks you for standing on business, and they actually make your own children within the community push back against that which is good, just, fair, moral, righteous, honorable. The degeneracy of dark psychology is so deep rooted in so many communities. Good is bad, bad is good, common sense is racist, common sense is xenophobic. Again, I'm not an elected official. I just have common sense solution. Not that I haven't tried to be elected official. I've ran in many campaigns, but you all are loyal to a brand. So you elected a brand. And that brand is filled with dark psychology. In training and designing how it wants you to think and then how it moves you to act. This is Lady O. Stay in action with faith and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and live like you mean what you say.